So here we are, December 2023. We're just a few weeks away from Christmas and the end of the year. And still the most common question I get is, how's the market? So in this video, I'm gonna go over what's going on in the market, not just locally here at the South Jersey Shore, but as well as the entire country. Hey, I'm Adam D with the Local Connect and Keller Williams Realty. And over the past month or so, I think the most important and biggest market update has been the drop in interest rates. So from about the end of October or so until early December, we've seen almost a full point reduction in mortgage interest rates. So we saw that 30-year rate get almost up to 8% and maybe just a tick above it. And at the time of this video, we're getting really close to just around that 7% area. So it's been a major shift in interest rates, and it's actually caused a lot of buyers I've seen to re-enter into the market because of that. It's eased some of the concerns of the rising interest rates. Maybe that's behind us, at least for now. And we've also seen some sellers or people who were thinking about moving but didn't want to because of the interest rates actually put their homes onto the market and start looking for houses for sale because of that change in interest rates. So while we had a few slow weeks or even a month after summer, it's really picked up the last few weeks or so, and I think a lot of it can be attributed to this interest rate change. Before we jump into the numbers, I wanted to do a quick look back on 2023, and I think this year can be defined by four real major changes in the real estate market. The big news was the rising interest rates. We had the severe reduction in inventory or fewer homes for sale. We had even fewer houses selling this year compared to the last few years. And despite all of that, we did not see a reduction in purchase prices. In fact, it continued to tick up a little bit. So let's jump into the numbers and take a look at exactly what's going on. All right, so here's the big news looking at interest rates. You can see here that, mid-October, late October, we hit that 8%. This is kind of a blended rate between different mortgage programs. And then as we entered into December here, we made it all the way down just about to 7% or so. So it's almost a full point drop. I think it's had a big effect on the market. If nothing else, a lot of people may believe that some of these major rate increases that we've seen all year, going back to where we started the year at, maybe we're past some of them, and maybe we're even on a downward trajectory for the near future. So we're looking at some 2024 home price forecasts, and we'll get into some additional forecasts going forward here. But for most of these leading experts, they think that prices are going to appreciate next year. Zillow and Realtor.com think there's going to be a slight decline, nothing major, but the majority of people think that we will continue to see appreciation going into the next year. Now, I want to point out that a lot of people think the market really slowed down, but across the country here, we're still seeing multiple offers on most properties. So this year, we saw about 2.5 offers on each property on average. Now, whenever you see this term unicorn years, we're talking about kind of that COVID year of 2020, 2021, and into 2022. Now, median days on market is still about 50 days. So not bad. The properties are still selling pretty quickly. Certainly a lot quicker than they were selling even in a good market like 2019. And the active listing count, despite inventory ticking up just a little bit, is still much, much lower than, again, a good market, just pre-unicorn years in 2019. Now, what we're looking at here is how long a house was on the market before it went under contract. And we're still seeing the majority of houses are getting offers within 2 weeks or so. If you're on the market more than a month without getting offers in today's market, we know that there's something wrong. It probably means that the price is too high or something else. Now, this is comparing the total number of home sales. You've heard me speak multiple times about how we're going to see significantly less sales this year compared to previous years. So we'll see when the data is in for the very end of the year. But you can see month by month that 2023, every month has been lower than the previous months. And 2021 was just crazy, significantly higher. The mortgage rate projections going into next year, it looks like we're going to kind of continue this downward trend. So I hope that this continues. It seems reasonable. This doesn't seem crazy to me. I find it that this is very believable that we'll be in the mid sixes, maybe even lower, into the end of next year. Now, something I wanted to point out here is these are the buyers walking through the door looking at a home for sale right here in New Jersey. And for many parts of the year, we actually saw that 2023 was low over the last 3 years. But now showings right now are above last year, I don't think we're ever going to catch up to 2020 again. That's that unicorn again. But, we're seeing showings increase towards the end of the year here, which is good if you're selling your home. Also, as a buyer, it means that the market's moving, right? There's other buyers out there looking right now. And the thing that I like about this is that showings are increasing, and at the same time, there is not a significant increase in inventory, which means prices aren't going down because inventory is not going down. So this is inventory levels in Cape May County, definitely higher than it was in 2020 and 2021 for sure. But again, still very low compared to look at 2018 at the beginning of the graph. So we're still in a little bit of a seller's market here, about 3.5 months of inventory in Cape May County. Looking at the same graph in Atlantic County, a little bit lower at 2.7 months, but the trend is the same. We're not seeing any major increase or decrease in inventory right now. So we're seeing consistent trend. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out is that Realtor.com put out this 2024 housing forecast, and I have to disagree with a lot of it. They are predicting that home prices are going to go down as well as inventory go down. And ordinarily, you can't have both. So for prices to go down, that would mean that inventory would have to go up or more houses become available for sale. So I really don't agree with this projection because I don't know how inventory is going to go down by 14%. That's actually a very significant drop. And at the same time, home prices go down. I think it's unlikely that's going to happen. They're predicting mortgage rates around 6.5% or 6.8%. That is believable. And Redfin did something similar. They also think that home prices will fall about 1%. Now, listen, we're not talking about major numbers here. They're talking about a 1% drop. But they have these significant increases. These 2 and 3% increases at the end of the year here, which we're definitely seeing here in New Jersey. But they're saying the same thing, that there's going to be more houses coming onto the market and more houses selling, and so therefore that inventory really isn't increasing much if the new properties coming onto the market are also selling, if the number of sales increase. So without a very significant increase in inventory, I don't think we're going to see this drop in prices. But again, their 1% prediction is just such a small change that it tells me that it very well could go in either direction. So we will see what happens. I think we'll have much more clarity on the interest rate thing, which controls a lot of the market, in the next couple months here. So there you have it. That's exactly what we're seeing over the past month or so in the real estate market. And please stay tuned to my video next month, where we'll look back at the full year. Since we haven't completed December yet, we don't have the full stats for 2023. But in our next video, we're going to do a full look back on the past year and see how it compares to previous markets. If you like this video, please do me a favor and subscribe. That way you're alerted of other videos. We'll see you on the next one.